All right, we live. Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes. You guys let me know if you can see me good, hear me good. I sometimes can't stand last minute updates when they're automatic updates. I just had an update with the Logitech camera that I'm using, and it created this whole ridiculous thing where I had to look it up like, wait, why is my camera not showing? For a minute there, I'm like, all right, what did I do wrong? I always do that. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Kicking this off. You guys let me know if you can see me, hear me good. Let me just double check some of these settings. We'll pop out the chat and we're going to discuss, we're kind of diving straight into an open discussion format for The Walking Dead 1016 as well as World Beyond. I mean, I don't know how to do that really. I'll do like a mini review because I do have 2 reviews that are going to pop up, like actual reviews with footage and clips and stuff. Tomorrow I'll likely post one late in the afternoon and then one evening for World Beyond. So you're going to get a full in-depth 10, 15 minute review for each of these episodes. Let's knock off let me check the chat. Make sure you guys can hear me good, and then we'll get right into the review. So, AP, what's up? After party stream, love you, bro. No, hells no. I got it. I wake up 6 in the morning, bro. We're not doing no after party streams. Matter of fact, this one's going to be a quick one just to discuss because I was trying to see how we're going to do this. If the stream discussion. If the streams get a decent amount of interest, we might do streams for, I'm dreading it, but we might do streams for Fear the Walking Dead, but mainly for World Beyond, just to see how that kicks off. If the streams are not doing so hot, we're probably going to end it. From this point moving forward, our main focus is going to be the Flaw in All reviews. So the streams and all that, I'm not really too certain about. The Boys is coming up as soon as I can get another 4 extra hours to just finish the a couple of things I need to do. I might just trim it because The Boys is missing a lot of some extra editing stuff. I might not even do it, and I might put it out raw, which means the video starts, I get into the what's good and bad right away, and then when it's over, I'm done. No extra, you know what I'm saying? Because I put in all this extra editing that takes a lot. I might just go right into, for TV shows, I might do it like that, and then rank the TV shows against each other. And then for the movies, I'll have just a little snippet at the end where you can see all the movies ranked on the shelf up here in real time. Because I'm trying to streamline them because with Day of the Dead, I did Day of the Dead and it got blocked like 3 times in 180 countries. So Day of the Dead is like, I don't even want to go back to re-edit it at this point. I'm just like, I'm so done, You either get blocked because or you get blocked or you get hit with the gore because of restrictions now with YouTube being so anal. Anyway, let's get into the review, but I do want to show this off for anyone that missed it. Look at these. I started putting together some tassels. Nope, where the hell is my... Yeah, there we go. I started putting together some of these tassels. Gold Celebration bookmarks for Doomsday Kingdom. Oh my God, look how gorgeous that is. So you got the front and the back Doomsday Kingdom. Look at that. Pow! We've got a few hundred of these free if you go and back Indiegogo. Now, this is the last week. We are in the final stages of, I think I got 1 more page or 2 more pages that the artist is sending me tomorrow for James Milne. He's sending me the last 2 pages for issue 5. And I need an extra day, I think, to letter. I'm doing the lettering. So, but this is the last week. We'll be sending the print file off to the printer, and then we're done, because we got the mini posters. I showed these off. We got the mini posters here, comic book size, wham, wham, wham. I gave my daughter the feeding post one, but there's 5 posters and a celebration bookmark for the very first volume. I wanted to pull a few out because together, you're never going to see them all together once I send them out to you guys, but they just look so sexy. Anyhow, so now is like really it. We're getting down to the deadline. So if you're interested, it's on the screen, Indiegogo. Go and get into that. What's all this extra crap? Let me clean up there we go. Clean that up a bit. Go and dive right into that. Indiegogo, links all down below. All right, so The Walking Dead 10/16, now that we got enough people here. I told you guys before, it was a solid episode, but in my opinion, the budget is suffering. And I'll show you a few examples. Eugene, we just seen him. He fell off the bike here. I rewound it like twice because I'm like, wait, how did I miss him falling off the bike? It doesn't show you. Aaron and Alden were at gunpoint in the last episode, and now they're magically running around in the woods, free as fairies. I don't understand it. I'm blaming it on the budget. I don't think they have enough to cover what they need to cover. Another big thing, I want to kind of cover some of the cons, and then we'll get into some of the things I really do enjoy. This part right here, they realized this part was badass. They realized that the herd is the good guys are in the horde, right? So Beta tells another one, he's like, yo, tighten the herd. And I blame the editing. Look at that. It's massive. Almost instantly, they tighten the herd. And when you rewatch this, see how they're all like, oh no, I'm all snug tight? I think it's in like a 20-second clip. Yeah, they do that, and then but when you see the whole... Yeah, when you see this, Beta's over here in the corner, right? He's over here chilling, and he tells another person, bring the horde in. Look at that. This is just a fraction of the whole horde, yet they managed to bring them all together. Now, if the show was trying to say, like, oh, it was just that one area because he knew they were there and not on the other side of it, they did a shitty job at just explaining that all together. So that was real ridiculous. And then we have... one of the biggest disappointments, this was pretty badass, when you have Lydia. Yeah, right here. Is this it? Yeah. Yeah, this shit was a cool-ass reveal. I don't know why they're taking so long to get to it. Bam. That's like Alpha's mask on her. I was like, yo, that is fire. This editing too, they throw a grenade in and it looks like they're bursting through the door, but in reality they're not. And the editing cuts right to night, and now the bad guys are breaking through what appears to be a second set of doors or another set of doors. Here's that scene that I said, yo, it looked like they filmed it in the daytime, but it takes place at nighttime. I missed this part, though. They filmed a little bit of it during the daytime, so that's probably what it is. And then the Beta scene with Negan. I made fun of this because, yeah, right here. Yo, it is so awesome, but at the same time, it's so lame because, and again, there's no budget for fight choreography. Believe it or not, fight choreography is, there's a lot involved in that. They're going to, whether it comes to the art, whether it comes to them coming up with it, getting the stunt work all organized and prepped, whether it comes to getting the actual cast there to train and learn and go over it. Sometimes they said it takes up to 8 to 9 days just to go over that one stunt for the fight choreography. I don't think they had the money for it, so we just get them getting stabbed. And I made a joke saying the season 8 finale was 2 grown men running around a tree, and the season 10 finale was 2 grown men running around a walker. And it was, because Beta just threw a zombie at Negan, and then he was like, this is for Alpha. And then he just gets... The soundtrack is still fire for Beta. It is still fire. And then Daryl comes over and he just... Done, son, you know? I think I'm covering it up, but yeah, bam, that's it. And then we see this badass moment where it's kind of like the that part of him that is hallucinating and just losing it, connecting with who he used to be as a performer on the stage, and his crowd just devouring his performance. But now, symbolically, now his crowd of walkers in this world, devouring him. There's symbolism there that I could probably make it sound a lot cleaner, but I dig it. I really enjoy it. But that's basically a big chunk of it, I would imagine. I got to really think about it. But there's definitely symbolism there that I can rock with, because it's the reality. Beta's broken, right? He has the reality and then his broken reality, which is his own personal warped reality. So in his death, we see it through Daryl and Negan's eyes, and Negan was like, yo, you know who that was? Negan recognized him, but they show it from that aspect, but we also see it from the broken reality aspect of Beta accepting his fate or just being devoured by his walkers. Anyway, this was cool. They touched this back to the premiere where she's on the cliff. I do like the sweet moments between Lydia and Carol. I don't know if it was the interruption, but something didn't work all that well. I don't know if it was part of the dialogue or the interruption in the episodes and how they were. This was one of my favorite moments. Visually, putting this to an end, having Carol and Alpha kind of facing off in front of a cliff to kick off this series, and now we have this one shot. I hope I don't have the sound on, because I'll get destroyed over copyright. Yeah, this shit was badass. That visual there. I know I'm covering some of it up, but you're not here to watch the episode. So Maggie just shows up, shoots an arrow, and that's it. It's real brief. And this is what was hard when I was doing the spoiler free, because yes, there's a war going on. Yes, there's fighting. Yes, she kind of, fights to, but in my opinion, no, yes, there's a war, there's fighting. She stabs with an arrow, but there's nothing of substance popping off when it comes to that aspect of it. And that part I find really draining, because again, it's all budget. And I know we get some fans that are like, I'm sick of budget. It's 100% the budget. Now, when it comes to them in the woods, I totally missed Rosita the first time I saw it. I totally couldn't figure out, because the first time I saw it, I didn't have the ability to rewind it. I was watching a early screener, and I totally was lost on where the hell is Negan and Maggie. They are in the same area, but they're kind of like separated by some trees. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's not that I can't wait till next season. I just feel like so many of the cons for the finale are because they just needed to rush through it, or it was, I don't know, it's brief and rushed. Connie gets picked up by this dude. I'm fine. A little hint at her still being alive. And then we got the stormtroopers. My mother called me up today because she finally got around to watching this, and I gave her my code for the AMC premiere, and she checked it out, and she calls me up and she goes, yo, something went wrong. I was watching the episode and these Star Wars guys showed up, and then it cut off. And I was like, no, that's the ending. And I just hear her go, oh, how stupid. I was like, I knew it was coming because of the comic. I didn't think about it from a fan's perspective of, not wanting to be introduced to something that's so wild and then having to wait a whole year, essentially, because keep in mind, we're not going to return to this moment until, you can't see it on the screen, but we're not going to, let me move my face. We're not going to return to this moment until October of 2021 at best case scenario. You know what I'm saying? So they seem like they bulked up some of the stripes on the outfit and did slight adjustments. So they do look real similar to the comic, almost identical in some angles, but some of it looks a little polished in a good way as well. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but I'll see what you guys have to say about it, and then we'll dive into the mess of World Beyond, that disaster. Some of the gore was on and popping. A lot of people were I saw so many comments where people thought, oh my God, so many people were going to die. And no, not even close. When they went back and started hunting them down, that was epic. No, I think it was over here. That shit was fire. With Father Gabriel protecting this door, that I was nothing but annoyed because it's a rush, and then they stop and they have this moment with her and Judith, and no one even died, so it's just a waste of time. But I get the characters why they do it. But I hate when Hollywood says, oh no, they're breaking in, and then the music slowly fades out and the characters in no rush take their time and they're like, tell Rosita I said the baby ain't even mine, bitch. So I don't know why they do that. They should keep that intensity and that rush and get in there, do the line, and then hurry the child off. Because it was just too... And then we get this. He shoots once. And he's immediately into hand-to-hand combat with a shotgun. Watch. It should be like this. Baka, baka, baka. And then by that time, 2 or 3 more get in the door. But again, budget. See, 1 down, and then we're immediately... You could have pumped and blew him away by that time. He had 1 bullet, maybe. Immediately, we're getting into hand-to-hand combat with the butt of the gun. Just some of that shit I just find to be ridiculous. And the reason I say budget is because 1 shot, boom, boom, he gets taken to the ground. Okay, but imagine now 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot. Okay, they overwhelm him. Now he's fighting 3 or 4 of them and then taken to the ground. You're adding more time to record that, more time to do the choreography. So I just want to explain why I blame it on the budget. I thought it was a solid episode with a heaping of disappointment when it comes to the war, when it comes to the fight between Beta, Daryl, and Negan. Let me see what you guys have to say. Did somebody donate? Dr. Death with a $2 dono. Jesus first and Gamma. Aaron should have killed Beta. Yeah, you know what? Aaron probably should have killed Beta, but Daryl's the fan favorite. So, you think part of the lack of fights might be due to the stuntman death a few seasons back? No, not at all. Hollywood isn't going to shut down because they have an accident on set. Unfortunately, there's a good amount of accidents. It's not like, from what I know, maybe there's a ton more that we don't hear about, but it's not. It's not the most uncommon thing. Accidents, unfortunately, do happen. Maybe not to where people die, but they're not going to cut off stunts just because, especially when it's fight choreography. Very different from the actor that died was actually doing like a 2-story fall. Falls are dangerous. No matter how easy and no matter how many times you do it, there's a level of danger there. So, very different doing a fight choreography where you're throwing punches and stuff like that, and then falling 2 stories while flipping. Don't forget, you're doing like this whole yada yada yada. So I don't think that's the case. Beta death remind me a little bit of Michael Myers at the end of Halloween 2. Yeah. How did Maggie get past the walkers to save and now Gabriel? Why did the walkers walk over the cliff? If so, the walkers are dead now, so they can live normal lives. Wait, so if all the walkers are dead now so they can live normal lives? I don't know what you're talking about, because there's always going to be walkers around, so I don't know who's living a normal life unless you're joking. But yeah, Maggie walked past the people fighting. It's just a way for them to wrap it up, telling us most of the Whisperers were dead. When, again, it's rushed. It's just rushed. Right here. Yeah, I was waiting for at least a surprise look from Maggie and seeing Negan. Carol might have mentioned Negan's plan or letter. They could have had anything in there where Maggie sees Negan and it's like, oh, shit is going to pop off. And then we cut to Eugene and then we get kind of like 2 cliffhangers in one. But I got the feeling that they wanted it left open to pick up wherever they want for season 11 when it comes to Maggie and Negan. Doomsday Kingdom Army 500 away from 12K. Hell yeah. I wasn't even thinking about how much we're building more more sales for Doomsday Kingdom on the Indiegogo, because we're getting everything ready to start shipping, and to do the print file and then start shipping. In my mind, the Indiegogo's already done in a way, but if we get another $500 in sales from now to the time we ship and we end at 12K, for me, I think that's great. Anything to build it up. I wanted it kind of low at first because we're going to really try to come out with Volume 2 a lot quicker than Volume 1. And there's exciting news for that, for those who don't know. But well, I'll keep you up to date on coming updates, so that way everyone's on the same path. I still feel very much enjoyed, but Aaron's story arc felt like it got sidelined. Some of the characters that need a buffer or a padding in a good way, not in a filler way, do get sidelined. Aaron, Father Gabriel even needs some. He's gotten some, but it's kind of like false substance, like shit with Rosita the baby and Dante and shit like that. It's like false substance there, or fake substance. And then we got who's another one? Jerry is one that should get some story and stuff packed on, but none of that matters anymore because they're ending it. So they're going to pick the most popular characters by far and either kill or set up for something next, and then that's the end of it. I agree it was solid, but once a huge loss of potential with the climax to the Whisperer arc. Also, why didn't they make available Whisperer masks for this Halloween? I don't know. When it comes to marketing and promotion, I don't know what some of these companies do. Bro, I'm already looking into so many different options for Doomsday Kingdom when it comes to action figures. We got people interested in maybe doing our own masks, like you guys seen some of it. We were joking around with the clown, having like a Doomsday clown mask. Other characters like that, some other ones you might recognize. So many, whether it's merchandise like T-shirts or the masks, we were going to make like the Riders pandemic type mask. We ended up not going that route. But again, open to all possibilities. But when it comes to AMC, you would think Whispers are coming up, Whisper masks. And I don't see anything. I don't know. I don't think they have enough faith in that selling, to be honest. The budget is definitely a problem, but I respect what the cast and crew were able to do with a shitty budget. Do you think we'll see a few stray whispers in future episodes? I don't think we should see them. At this point, it's just pointless. If Beta was still out there, I would actually be hyped. But if we get some side whispers, it just confuses casual audience thinking, ooh, we might be getting more of these in some way, shape, or form. Oh, who's leading them now? Unless they come straight out and they're like, oh, maybe they'll have a whisperer show up and then get killed and finally reveal like, oh, no, there's no more of us. I was going to bring them back, and Daryl just ends them. You get what I'm saying? The Carol scene on the cliff took me out of the episode and killed the suspense, since we know she was... Same. She was never going to die in that moment because we know she gets a spinoff. Two things. One, I don't believe they'll kill Carol or Daryl without having some sort of fantastic last moment between those two characters, and we didn't get it. So that plus the fact that they came out and said that they're going to live, it ruined it for me as well. But Negan said to Daryl, do you know who that was? And Daryl said, nobody. Is that a callback to Rick telling Daryl that it was Morales? And Daryl says he knows, but it doesn't matter. I would have to go back and look at it again. I mean, it's definitely possible. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and just double check, because it seems like something that's just coincidental and not necessarily a callback. But I'll have to go back and look again to see for sure. Yo, you missed my super chat. Where did your super chat go? Oh, shit. How the hell did I miss that? Rolling Big Shot with a $2 dono. Bro, zero fight from Beta. Thank you very much for the $2 dono. So sorry I missed that, and you're absolutely right. Zero fight from Beta. Oh, that was my biggest disappointment this episode by far. Zero? Yo, wait till we get into World Beyond. Here's one of my biggest fears for the Walking Dead franchise. You don't have zombie fans in control of that series. I don't know if it's per episode, but there's no zombie fan that's at the helm of that, because I saw something in World Beyond where I was like, no, what? Whoa, hold up, No. And I want to discuss it, but we're going to get there. Dr. Death, we already did that. Doomsday, thank you guys for the donos. They help in a huge way. Aaron P. with a $5 dono. Had a bad week. Had 3 pets die. Damn. 2 turtles, 1 frog. I enjoyed the season finale, and I enjoyed World Beyond. Have a great stream. Doing YouTube work right now. Laugh out loud. Well, keep it up. Sorry you had a shitty week. Hope the next week does a little better for you. And thank you very much for the support, homie. We got one more. Slizzle2290. With a $5 dono. With the collapse of the Fear the Walking Dead, do you think that the show has torpedoed the Walking Dead franchise? I wouldn't blame it on Fear the Walking Dead. I would not blame it on Fear the Walking Dead. I would say that Fear the Walking Dead didn't help, but 2 of the biggest things that torpedoed the franchise as a whole would probably be the cliffhanger we all know was a huge oomph. The cliffhanger and the budget, if I had to pick 2 of the biggest moments. And let me clarify, too. It's not the simple fact of getting a cliffhanger. I've even seen actors that I like and respect. They just don't even understand when fans say, like, the cliffhanger. It's not about the way they word it. It's not about that at all. It's about the simple fact that when you have the fans in a state where you build up a momentum to such a way where you'll never reach that high note again, no matter how hard you try. You'll never reach that build-up that they led to. The weeks leading up with teasing, with images and promos, it was a blowjob where you don't come. You teased them and all that foreplay and yada, yada, yada. You built up to that moment only to go, psych, we'll be back. You know what I mean? It's not just about like, oh, boo-hoo, fans have to wait and blah, blah, blah. It's about the overall experience and the emotion tapped into that. And fans aren't dumb. They know that this is a big deviation from what Walking Dead was doing, and it no longer was about respecting the story. It was now about how to pimp out the story with tricks and gimmicks. Now, fans aren't going to walk away and elegantly articulate that and tell producers how they feel. No, they're going to say like, fuck this cliffhanger, bullshit, yada, yada, yada. But when that happens, even I noticed it right away. I was like, Walking Dead it's cheap tricks now, not the story is king. And I was like, this is a terrible direction to go. And we see it happen more and more. It's the CRM and Fear the Walking Dead having the helicopter. It was gimmicks and tricks to get us to watch Fear the Walking Dead. Morgan going over, Dwight going over. It's all gimmicks and tricks to get us to watch. That is one of the biggest crushing blows. And again, fans might not articulate that to the people running the show, but that's what they get from it. When they we're gonna get hints of Rick. Watch Fear the Walking Dead. Okay, I watched all 10 episodes and we didn't get dick. We got fooled. It really drags out the connection you have with the material. And I think that with the budget is 2 of the biggest devastating blows. Beta's actual death was way cooler than his death in a comic. Word. But the Whisperer battles and storylines were horrible in the show. Shake my head. Judith killing a zombie Beta would have been cool, but I doubt it'll happen. No, I don't think it'll happen. Please don't remember AMC is not a huge network with a huge budget. They don't produce Breaking Bad, just aired it, and they definitely don't have faith in the Walking Dead product right now. Dan, I appreciate what you're saying, but none of that matters at all. None of that matters. First off, we get that AMC isn't huge, but, bro, do you understand how much straight profit they have made off The Walking Dead? They could have scraped off some of that straight profit and still been rich as shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't buy that. AMC might not be a huge network, but they were making billions. What? They were making like hundreds of millions of dollars, like, and we're talking profit, not like overall and yada, yada, yada. There's definitely a way to siphon a few million to bulk out your seasons. When they were making like 11, I think it was like 11 million profit. I forget the estimate. 11 million profit in an episode. I got to go back and double check because I don't want to say the wrong shit. But when you think about it like that, when it has like a million budget, $1.3 million, $1.8 budget per episode, and then they're making yada, yada, yada. And you look at, that's just airing it. Don't forget, merchandise is even more. It's in the hundreds of millions. So I don't buy that. I just simply flat out ignore it. And Breaking Bad, I have no idea why you're even mentioning Breaking Bad. They own The Walking Dead. Yes, they just aired Breaking Bad, but they own The Walking Dead. They own it all. Breaking Bad didn't even have a lot of people watching. I know Breaking Bad is the king of all shows, but it only had like 1 million people watching most of its life. I think it only reached like 7 million viewers in the finale or something like that. Are you hyped for the arrival of your Friday the 13th box set this week? Also, do you have plans on doing a review or a ranking vid for worst, best in the franchise? No ranking vids because we're doing flaw and all reviews for Friday the 13th. I know some people are getting sick of hearing what's coming up, but you have to understand, it's either I don't talk about this at all or I let you know the box set is coming on the 13th to the 16th, unless it's late. So when I get the box set, I'm dropping Friday the 13th, Flaw and All Part 1, because I already have it. So I'm going to use my Blu-ray for that. And then when it comes, I'm going to do Part 2, 3, because I don't have 2, 3, 4. If there's interest. If there's no interest, then we're going to do, Halloween. We're going to do Nightmare on Elm Street. And we'll come back around to Part 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I will review the box set itself. Abso-frickin-lutely. And I am through the roof. I've been waiting years for an Ultimate Friday the 13th box set. Let me get a couple more questions and we're going to go over World Beyond real quick. The walker on the right in your background looks like he's got a W on his forehead. Yeah, he does. Look at that. Maybe that's an Easter egg. I wish Rick wasn't sent off because remember the scene in the comics where two guys beat Rick up at night and he bites one of their throats out. I wish we got that scene in the show. Mass person is Scott Gimple. Make fans like him more. Yeah. Comic and show both dropped the ball in the Whispers. Yeah, comic and show both dropped the ball in the Whisper of War. Why would the Whispers walk off the cliff? I can see the zombies, but the real people walked to their deaths. I did not get the impression that real Whispers walked off the cliffs. If they did and I missed it, then that is stupid. That's flat out stupid. I got the impression that they went in, they hunted all the Whispers, killed them all, and Carol and them brought the horde of zombies off the cliff, not Whispers. That's the way I thought it played out. Do you like Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 because it has the show's best season? I think it's amazing. Everyone says Season 3 is the best, and I fucking hate it. Do you still think Rick movies are going to happen? Yes, one at the very least. Rick is going to do so much older whenever they finally decide to do a film. My point is squandered their profit. They squandered the fans' love and pimped out the zombie fans. Yeah, they may have squandered it, but I think the way I read what you said is they didn't have the money because they weren't a big thing. That's how I read it, but they did have the money. They had the money, and to be honest, if AMC, and here's what makes Hollywood so frustrating, and I know why Hollywood does it, because I was asking, why does Hollywood do this? So I asked some people in the industry, and the way it works is like this. Let's say you're investing into the movies and franchises. There's always going to be a new hot franchise. So what they do is they take the hotness, they suck all the money out of it as much as they can, and they just wait for the next hot thing to rise up, and they go over there. They don't give a fuck about Walking Dead lasting 20, 30, 40 years because they can bounce, and we're talking about money men, because money men come and go and shift and yeti. They can bounce, right? And then someone else will fill their shoes, maybe with a little less money, maybe yada, 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 while the other person went over to something that's hot and rising and blah, blah, blah. So they take as much as they can at first, and then they're they're gone, or some of them stick around, I would imagine. But Slizzle, in a fight to the death, who you got? Jason versus Michael Myers versus Freddy. I'm going to go with, I'm a killjoy when it comes to some of this shit. I just hate hypotheticals because I don't know. Because Jason, what Jason? Human Jason? Zombie Jason? I mean, what Freddy? Freddy Part 1 where there was rules, or Freddy where shit just went all crazy? Let's take Jason, Michael, and Freddy in their very first. So Part 3 Jason, Michael Myers Part 1, and then Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, it seems like Freddy should win by default because of the dream thing. So my favorite is Jason, but I'm going to pick Freddy. Because that's rough too, because my favorites kind of switch from time to time, but all three of them are definitely up there as my top. Do you think a different network could have elevated The Walking Dead? Yeah, a different network could have done something truly amazing with The Walking Dead for sure. Let me get in the review real quick, World Beyond, before we close this out. Henry Lemonon. Thank you very much for the $10. I kind of agree with you about season 3. I wish they did the governor more like in the comics. Wait. I'm sorry. I was talking about Fear season 3, but I might have forgot what season is what, but I also do not like The Walking Dead season 3. I think there's stuff I really like, but there's also some really poor writing. I kind of agree. I wish the governor was more like the comics. He was okay in the show, but he was a pure evil psychopath in the comics. I wish they made him like the comics. You know why they didn't? Because they had this stupid idea to put him in a romantic relationship with Andrea. Take Andrea out and you no longer have to humanize the governor in the way that they did by taming him down, because she wouldn't hook up with a guy who was just a raging psychopath, yada yada. They needed it to kind of feel like he was definitely a bad guy, but his really like psychotic shit was slowly coming out, and that way it didn't interfere with the romance angle, which all of that is really dumb. All right, let me pop up. Don't forget, Doomsday Kingdom on Indiegogo. We got some amazing shit. Let me pop up. This is World Beyond. Now, World Beyond I thought was funny because I think the characters are nothing interesting with the characters at all. The actors playing them actually had some, some charm. Except for the kid in the corduroy, no offense, he just didn't get enough or the right screen time. He just didn't come off, but that's not saying he was bad. Some of them had a nice presence about them, but their characters themselves, like this Hope, she is hot as like the actor, so easy on the eyes when it comes to, because let's be real, that's why she has the job, right? Get all the horny little teens to watch her. That's the purpose. Pimp her out with the eye candy. But the problem though is her character is annoying as fuck. She's like this rebel, like edgy, but it's just annoying. The Civic Republic, I think that's what they're called. Notice how we have the community of 3 communities. It's the union of 3 communities, but the big what the fuck moment at the end is one of the communities is already dead. I don't find that interesting. I find that as a cop-out. I find that as them creatively going, oh, we got this big thing going on where we got this connection of communities, 3 circles, yada, yada, yada. And then when it comes time to make the show and reveal what's going on, they go, yeah, this is too big. We got too much going on. We need to kill a whole community. Well, I know. Let's just get it out of the way in episode 1. You know, it's just filler. The 3 community, all the buildup. Imagine for the last few years, all the buildup to the CRM was bullshit. It's just a connection to communities that don't matter. The only thing matters is this mystery between where the girls go and where their father is at. And is Rick where their father is at? Which I personally don't think it matters because, again, the World Beyond is not about Rick's movie. It's not. As many fans of As many of you want this to prop up Rick's movies, that's not the purpose, because it makes no sense to watch the Rick movies and be told it's all set up in the world beyond. So I just don't think there's going to be as much. There's a weird character here, though. Again, I like the presence, but I don't know. I don't know. There's something off, but I do like the interaction with some of the characters. Some of this is weird. I think the writing in some of it is poor as well. Like, she hops off the bus and she has this awkward interaction that I like the concept, but I think it just honestly fell flat. The two sisters, I'm still lost on that. Is the white girl adopted? I think in real life she's like Mexican and Egyptian. I might have not read that right. She might be like Egyptian and something else. But I was assuming she's adopted, but it makes it seem like she's not adopted. I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe I missed it because it looked like both her parents are black. So I'm not really sure how that equals out. Now, when it gets to this girl who was in another movie I liked called Legends of the Fall or Legends of the Falls, something like that. Great movie, depressing as hell. No one gets what they want in that. Great movie. Anyway, I did like her. I am interested in her. This setup, though, not a big fan of it. The hidden little note thing, but it's not bad. I like this where people that are sick, they put them in these rooms and they have them locked up. This line is nice. Little side character with a nice performance. The whole flashing back and she's a zombie and then you see the sketching. I thought that was so whack I almost had a cringe coma. Again, that's for adults that think teenagers are gonna think that is, cool. That's where we get like this disconnect. It's somebody probably in their I don't know, maybe in their late 20s that thinks teenagers would find that groovy. They wouldn't. I don't think my 10-year-old would find that interesting. What else? There was something else over the flashbacks. If you notice, she's playing with her necklace in the flashback, which was massive cringe, but I liked the concept. In the flashback, I gotta show it to you because it is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. This girl's got nice presence here. Where is it at? Wait. Some of their dialogue, too, was actually refreshingly, like they were interrupting each other. He repeated something she said and he didn't finish, and something about it was done nice. The way this section was filmed, there was stuff here that had some serious potential. I even had to rewind it to see what she was saying because it wasn't like beating you on the head with it, but I don't know. Something worked here. I don't know. They got a good charisma. I thought they were going to do a couple thing, but it's 2020. He's gay. You saw that coming. So they're checking off the diversity. And I'm only saying that in a flippant way because I don't believe it's anything other than they were checking boxes. And when it comes to that, why even bother? If you're only going to do it to check boxes, I'm not really sure what the point is. They have their little argument here. The girl gives them a map. I'm trying to get to this one clip because I want to show you how bad this is. It's the flashback of... this wasn't too bad where she shows up. I called this coming when I first... Hold on. All right. Love you. You going to give me a kiss goodnight? Oh, whatever. All right. All right, love you. All right, so... where is that one scene? I guess it's further out. It was okay, so the mother and daughters and father are all together. When did they get separated? Okay, so they're all together. I gotta show it to you because it's just bad. Maybe I'll wait until the review. They're literally standing there. I'm going to show it to you in the review. They're all together, and the way they edit it, it was so poorly done. Now, something like that was probably done by the second DP. Or do I have that right? Like, not like the principal, not like the director. He's going to take second DP or assistant director. I forget the wording, but he's going to take someone who does like the cinematography shots and like the hands reaching for the guns. So he's going to take another crew. So it looked like it was someone who wasn't all that experienced, because people are warping all over the place. They're all together. They start running away, and then for almost no reason whatsoever, people are yelling. It's frantic, but if you watch it, there's no reason for them to separate. And the way it's filmed, you can see it's just so poorly done. And then this girl comes out of nowhere, and she aims a gun at her, ends up shooting her mother because she ran forward. And again, the whole scene really poorly done. I do kind of dig the concept. And then she's kneeling down, shaking her mother who's dying on the ground. And all of a sudden, she like transports in front of the shooter, picks the gun up off the ground, and like transports back to where she was with her mother. It's so poorly done by somebody who was just focused on, what is the camera seeing? Girl crying in front of her dead mother, hand picking up a gun, girl aiming gun. When in reality, they didn't think to put two and two together and go, oh, the girl that shot the gun dropped the gun. Well, how does the girl go get it? It was so terrible. I had to rewind it to make sure I saw what I saw. Yeah, so she's here like, mommy, wake up, mommy, wake up. Now, given on camera, it looks farther apart, right? But it's probably not. They're probably like 8 feet apart. But the gun is 8 feet away from this little girl. So, and it's in front of her feet. And they're like 8 feet apart, maybe 10 feet apart. So now all we see is her hand picking up the gun. So you're telling me the girl got up, walked towards the pregnant girl who just shot her, picks up the gun, and at this point, she would be right next to the girl. I'm talking like right now. It's just so, it's so shitty. It's so shit done. I don't know. And then this girl ends up being her friend's, coincidentally, her friend's mother, because the kid talks about it. And that's another poorly done scene. Really. And we're talking like, this is a beautiful shot. There's a few beautiful shots with the cinematography, but this scene, I love all this shit with the moss on the zombie faces. This right here is, they're walking in the dark, and he randomly kicks over a bucket. Now, the kid has been leaving the community to look for something that was his, and they find it randomly. It wasn't like he brought them to this area because he knew it was in this location. The kid is literally walking. They're Humpty Dumpty Dum. Humpty Dum. I hope I don't get hit with a copyright. See this pile of dirt here? They're not looking for anything. They're literally just walking. He kicks. Oh man, I tripped. Oh, how coincident. And look, he looks down. Oh my God. And that's what he was looking for this whole time. I just don't. And then he says it was a gift for his sister, and we can see he pulls out his mother's picture, which is the same girl that the other girl killed. Which the only way this works is if the Hope sees this photo and she remembers the girl she killed 10 years ago when she was 11, which doesn't make any sense because Hope is like, that bitch is in her 20s for sure. And like, we're talking like mid-20s. I could be wrong. She looks like a 25-year-old with makeup trying to look 17, They all do, except for the kid, though. The kid looks legit, maybe like 18, 19. The other kid could probably be like 20, 21. But the two girls look like they're in their 20s easily. Playing like, I don't know, high schoolers? There was another, when you are filming when you're filming, where's that? They're training right here. When you're filming your actors, this scene right here, you can see, and again, I don't know if this matters, but when I first saw her fighting, I was like, wow, that's a girl who has no chance to fight a child, let alone a walker or a girl, just by her stance. If you look here, and I don't mean to be difficult, but you see it immediately when you're watching it. Sloppy, weak. She does this move where if you look right now, you're supposed to plant your feet, and to gain momentum and power, it's in your hips the way you pull it through and wham, you know? But here it's just, I mean, it's like she's having a seizure, not like she's fighting. And I'm going to show you this because watch how she's swinging this and she's off balance. So she pulls her leg forward. So you have her striking and her leg going forward at the same time. I don't understand. It just looked bad. But it's like a 1 second shot. But the other girl at the end of the episode, when she goes to slap the walker, they're using props that probably weigh next to nothing. And it looked like she was swinging like a 40-pound stick. I mean, and these are the leads who are going to be fighting. This is probably a show for me. It's like, no. That looks like Noah. But here's where I thought, these aren't zombie fans in charge. Because you have... when it first gets to it, you have a zombie that's on the ground. They are supposed to be stabbing the humans in the head, the fresh dead in the head, not already downed zombies. 2 examples. This guy right here. Now, they make it sound like the zombie's alive. But he's not. He gets stabbed in the head. If you look, he's not moving. He's on the ground. He's not blown in half. It's a zombie on the ground. It makes no fucking sense. If this zombie is on the ground, it means his head is already damaged. You don't need to stab the head. They stab the zombies in the head and they walk past all the humans. It doesn't make sense unless they want the humans to turn, or somebody who doesn't know the first fucking thing about zombies put this together and they just think, oh yeah, zombies get stabbed in the head. It doesn't make sense, and they do it repeatedly. Look, all right, there's a zombie who wasn't moving, already dead already, gets stabbed in the head. Here's a human. This person you should be stabbing in the head. All right, that doesn't look like Noah, but maybe it was. Here's another one you could stab in the head. Those are people you want to stab in the head. Now, here's a zombie on the ground. For what reason? Gets stabbed in the head. Why is it on the ground? I'm looking around like his legs aren't blown off. His arms aren't blown off. We've always seen them, you know, they're squirrely. They're going to move around. If they're not blown to shreds, they're going to move around. And we get yet another example when, and this is probably the most egregious because it's so like in your face. And this is where we found out they blew in the wall. They let some zombies in, and then they, went and just killed everyone after that. But you get Miss Bad Bitch. Where's she at? Is she even in this wide shot? All right, so she's not in the establishing shot, but here she is. She looks cool walking through the fog of war, and she comes up to this zombie. I want to know how heavy those weapons are in real life. They look like they got some weight to them. I was a little disappointed in the design. I thought the design was so cool, and it's perfectly lined up to like stab them in the head because that's the soft spot around all the skull, but it's not because they open it up and they just stab them wherever. If you look at where they're stabbing them, it's just wherever they wish, as long as it's part of it is in the brain. Anyway, no, did we miss it? I guess we did. All right. So she walks up to this one. Come on. This video is so getting blasted. Oh, yeah. All right. Fresh zombie. Look. He's like taking a nap. He's injured. He's hurt. Does he got a headache? Does he got COVID? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this zombie. His head is fine. Obviously, he's still alive because he's moving his head going, ah. Why aren't his arms moving? His arms are still intact. Why aren't his legs moving? His legs are still intact. Somebody please tell me I'm missing something, because this was like the final straw where I knew it's only going to get worse from here, because you have people who are not zombie fans involved in this in a major way. They should be stabbing the people who are fresh, not the zombies who are already on the ground, because it doesn't make any sense for fucking zombies to be on the ground. Let me see what you guys have to say, because I'm just losing it here. I call bull on the kid using the big ass wrench. Yeah, we talked about that one. Learn how to swing a baseball bat is held for review. What is this? Learn to live to learn. Who said that? This show is so ass. Campus community wasn't the entire community. It was just the schools. They said the city of Omaha was 100 miles away. Hope wanted to go to the city. They said 100 miles. If nothing is between them. Yeah, you might be right on that one, because let me think about it. Because in her notebook, she wrote Portland and question marks for this place. Let me see, because in her notebook, she wrote what it was. Hold on. You might be right on that one. But I have to do a caveat here. I don't buy it yet, because why would they kill the schools and leave the cities? You see what I'm saying? At what point does it serve? That now you're opening another can of worms for it to be even dumber in a way, because they killed all the school kids, but they left the city. I mean, the city's going to figure it out. Maybe that's what they blew the wall open for, and they let the zombies come in there. Maybe they're going to set it up. That I can buy. They're going to set it up like it was attacked by zombies. If they do that, yeah, you're right. Look at this. Here's a drawing. It says Omaha. It has a big circle and then a campus colony. So the big circle is either A, dead 2, or, which would be fucking stupid, because they made a big deal out of 3 communities. Anyway, but they would have to really explain what happened to the campus colony, because if they try saying, oh, we visited and right when we left, oh man, they must have been attacked. No one's going to believe that. But we'll see. But you are right about that. A World Beyond, how are they getting the message from their dad in the books? Some type of fax, something or other. Didn't the mouth just move, though? The mouth moves when it gets stabbed. But that's besides the point. Even if the mouth moves, I will agree. The zombies are alive. Let's agree there. It still doesn't make sense, because why is it laying down? Why is it not moving its arm or hand? Why is it doing nothing but laying? Why are all these zombies laying on the ground just going, It doesn't make sense. It's called double tap running. Again, it just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. You're not double tapping a human being. Humans get double tapped because when you get shot in the chest, you're going down. And then you want to make sure they're dead and they're not going to get revived. You don't double tap a zombie. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't shoot a zombie in the chest and it goes down and then you finish them in the head. That doesn't make any sense at all. I call bull on that kid. We already did that. This is the new Matthew, Negrit, and Gimple. This is the new show. I need to rewatch. Got to make sure. Double tap. Yeah, none of these make sense. Double tap does not work on a fucking zombie. The first shot's not going to take them to the ground. Listen, fuck it. If you want it to double tap and you want to watch a shit show that doesn't actually respect the zombie genre as a whole, you can have World Beyond. You can have it all day. All day. You can have it all day, bro. Also watched from the first episode. It's not close to how good the series was a few years back. Excited for a new season. Well, if you compare the first season to The Walking Dead with the first season to World Beyond, it's a stunning difference in quality, in my opinion. There's still plenty that I did enjoy when it comes to some of the atmosphere. I think some of the interactions, some of the atmosphere, the concepts and the potential I was really enjoying, because you have this world already built. But again, there's so many of these little things that when you go back and rewatch it. Now, keep in mind, I watched the episode 3 times. I watched the episode in an early screener. I watched the episode with AMC Premiere and on Friday. And I just watched the episode tonight to refresh me. So a lot of these ones that are, when you rewatch them and you notice some of the clear mistakes when they're filming, like when they get separated, I fucking dare you to go rewatch it when they get separated and try telling me that they really got separated. It was just someone who's inexperienced in maybe, I forget the technical terms, but showcasing what happens on screen, not just blocking, what actors are going to be where in the frame, but leading the viewer on to see, oh, that's how they got separated. A big flaming ball of shit fell in between them named Fear the Walking Dead, and they were like, oh shit, They didn't kill off a whole community, the campus community. Yeah, we already covered that part. They may be killing the old walkers. They just don't realize they set up the school to die so that only the fresh dead walkers will come to attack. Well, because they're so far away, that doesn't make any sense. Because there's 100 miles. Why would you even mess with that? Just get walkers that are closer to the other location. Unless you say it in a different way. Cody196 with a $5 dono. The zombies in World Beyond, so far in my opinion, are just ridiculous to the point it's laughable. It's honestly sad seeing how it started. There's a few times where the visuals, I will give them credit, looked really good. There are some times where the movements seemed a bit, what's a good way to put it? Stiff, Like we'll see, well, even in The Walking Dead, they do it where they kind of do like a full mask. I think my favorite part visually was probably the ones that are covered in moss right here. Like these ones, I just love the look of this. This shit is the bomb. Where's this shit? That shit is awesome. I love the look of that. Where are you at? That, yeah, here's obviously perfect, like, promotional image. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of images that, in my opinion, that were like this. Just a couple that they purposefully set up. Here's the campus colony. What's funny is I took this screen grab before we mentioned it, and I was thinking, too, I got to go back and look at something or other. But that's how I missed it. I never went back and double-checked. Here's a zombie. Here's another one. Here's some of the people. This is stuff for my review that I'm putting in the review. All right, let me catch up. Slizzle with a dono. Thank you very much, homie. Do you think the governor should have been the most evil character in The Walking Dead? Andrea tamed him, I agree, besides Beta. Well, I think the governor should have been the most evil, and Beta should have been the most primitive, not just simply evil, but animalistic. You know what I mean? More on that side as opposed to evil. But they do evil things, but the governor was more like he enjoyed the evil. He had this curiosity to some of the grotesque shit he was doing. Henry with another dono. I think the showrunners know damn well that Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond suck. They obviously know that. They're just pumping and milking it out for the money. That's what I don't understand, though, bro. You could make a good show. I just don't fucking get it. And I know some fans are gonna love it because, and I agree. I just want something that's The Walking Dead, and it's it might not be dog shit, but it's just not good. Cody196, the zombies in world. Okay, I already read that one. Hey, Ronnie, you missed one of my super chats. Can you check it out? Yeah, I just went back up. Thank you very much again, brother. Episode 16 was so underwhelming. Like, damn, I used to be so hyped for The Walking Dead. Now it's like I'm not invested in it no more. Since they killed off Carl, the show went downhill. Budget sucks, too. There's a number of things. I used to watch it's become like a stale, repetitive, by the numbers storytelling. And it used to be, anything goes, adventurous, even when you had villains showing up or certain stuff showing up that was going to be problematic. It was storytelling 101. But it felt like, especially in the early seasons of The Walking Dead, I think what pulled me to it so much was this fresh, open potential. The possibilities are endless. They could go this way, they could do this, they can run into this type of people, they could just do yada yada. Like anything could happen. Somewhere along the lines, it got stale in that regard to some degree. And I just don't know if they'll ever get that back. You think the first episode is going to tell of what we're going to get for the rest of the series? Like a horrible first episode means many more. Well, I think it's a damn good sign that we're not going to get the greatest episodes to come. We could get some decent stuff. And I'll tell you right now, the storytelling in the first episode, I'm sorry, I don't know who did it, but it's very amateurish. It is very like, so our dad who left us 5 years and 7 days ago because we ran into this community of people that did this and this and this, and you should already know this already because you've been living the same life I live, but because we have an amateur writer and a brand new series with new people watching, we need to go over everything in its entirety with exposition just to keep all the spoon-fed people, so much of the shit was like that. And I can't fucking handle when they do shit like that. I just can't. Like, I'm fine with dad is sending a message. He shouldn't be sending messages. Just to give you one example of how I can pinpoint anything out of that. I'm good with that. Oh, he shouldn't be sending messages. He's sending messages somehow. That's fine. You can even drop little small hints of certain things, but when it comes to like really spoon feeding every detail, Black Rose with a $20 dono. Whoo, you came in saving the day. This may be an unpopular opinion. Let's get to it. Let's get right to it. I got here late, but that was the most boring thing I've ever watched. World beyond my attention span, apparently. Yo, I don't think you're the only one. I do think a lot of people liked it, and that's why I did not do a watch party. I originally was going to do a watch party for World Beyond and the finale for The Walking Dead, but I opted not to do the watch party because I saw so many people that were saying they loved everything. The finale, and again, I thought the finale was good. It was a solid episode, but it had a good heaping of disappointment, and I blame it mostly on the budget. We could get into some of the character stuff, yada yada yada. That's fine, but I think the biggest thing is budget. I think there's so much filler that didn't need to be there. We could have skipped all that dumb Dante shit, and really got into it with some of the characters, really fleshed out some of the characters, but, whatever. Now, when it comes to World Beyond, honestly, if it wasn't a Walking Dead show, I would have zero interest in ever returning to watching it. And I gotta be honest, just because it's Walking Dead, I want good Walking Dead content. So I'm always like hopeful we'll get something that's good Walking Dead content. So it leaves me wanting the next episode to be good. And I'm sure I'm going to enjoy some episodes. But I just have my doubts. In the posters, the kids are being wanted, so I think the CRM will make them look bad. Their fault. That's another thing, too. We get this attitude like the girl wanted them to leave, or at least wanted the sisters to leave. And I just, that's a big stretch, yo. They travel that far. Portland, CRM, Omaha. I don't know why people keep putting Portland in stuff either. Let me play catch up here. Cody, Zombies and World Beyond. Already did that one. How far down am I going? Okay, I was caught up. I thought I missed someone. I didn't. All right. with another $20 bomb. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it in a big way. The finale I thought was nice. Expected more bat breaking over Beta. Just saying. Yeah, we have a fake Beta bat. It's a clone, not a Beta bat. We have a fake Lucille. The real Lucille is still either gone, which I just can't fathom that. That's so dumb. Either gone or it's missing and they're going to reveal it in season 11. So why not break the fake bat? Whatever happened to the fake Beta, the fake Lucille? Anyone even know? What happened to the fake Lucille? Oh my God. Bro, there was a Beta Daryl Negan showdown. Not one punch was thrown. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. The cameraman was safe, bro. Fuck that. Cody, would a dono, do you plan on watching Fear the Walking Dead? And what are your thoughts on the trailers for it? I think the trailers look terrible. I'll be honest. I think they look terrible. You got Morgan, who walks past zombies and then seems to be annoyed that they didn't attack him. And he turns around and he's like, hey, you know. Oh my God. You know what I'm afraid? I'm afraid we're going to have somebody write the dumbest scene I've ever seen where Morgan is so wounded. He's like near death, man. So he's walking and he's so hurt and he walks right past the zombies, bro, because he's like on death's door. I don't know why. It's like Bill and Ted did the fucking screenplay. But I got a feeling it's either that or they're going to do some type of sickness thing, which don't do it. Just don't. Here's how the zombies work. Here's one way they could possibly get around it. Honestly, if he's hurt, injured, and wounded, and he's literally slowly moving about, by the rules already established, he can just simply walk into the herd and walk with the herd. The only reason zombies attack is if you get their attention. Now, they're not going to attack, and this is with lore, they're not going to attack even if you don't have guts on, because there's so many zombies around. They just can't smell the human mixed in with all the nasty zombie. We know that because Michonne did it when the prison fell. This is canon. This isn't like, oh, really? We already know this. Michonne had zero guts. That's why she has the pets. Remember, with Michonne and the pets, you don't need guts. That's the trick to move in the horde. And that's what I love about it so much, where if you pay attention, there's actually a lore there, which is real smooth. Do not create attention, and you have to sneak in when there's a lot of nasty shit around you. If you're around like one solo zombie, there's a chance he could get a whiff of like flesh, you know, if the wind blows. But if you're in the middle of a horde and a bunch of zombies, no matter which way the wind blows, it's all going to smell like shit, you know? So that's one way for him to sneak in there, not stupid, and still be within the boundaries of the canon. And I think they should do it that way. But we'll see what they have cooked up. Still can't believe they skipped the Negan beta. I know. What excuse could they possibly have for leaving Lucille until next? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Guess I will be having it all day. I don't know. For World Beyond, you can have it all day, if that's what you're saying. Are you caught up with The Boys? Been loving it, especially the last 2 episodes. I am. I thought they went a little too ridiculous with some of the shit. I don't know. There's satire that pulls from real life that is enjoyable, and then there's satire where it feels like they're only writing it because they want to write about what's actually happening here, and it's overbearing. So they do some of it that's overbearing, but there is season 2 I am enjoying. I don't think as much as season 1 though. It feels like there's a lot more, not even filler, but soft scenes. They just don't have a lot of weight to them.
but I am really enjoying Homelander. What is the best series finale of any show you have ever watched? Series finale? The best one is a mix between, I tell you what, the top three off the top of my head, probably The Shield, Breaking Bad, and Sons of Anarchy, in that order. The Shield and Breaking Bad, I have to rewatch The Shield to give you a definitive answer, but I think that is the order, or close to it. Breaking Bad might be on top, but that's as close as it gets. The score was amazing during the Beta and Negan confrontation. Yeah, for all 3 seconds, I agree. So unbelievably disappointed by the fight itself. I also agree. Morgan is immune or some dumb shit. Laugh out loud. He is the cure. The fight between Negan and Daryl and Beta was such a letdown. It's up there with the Rick versus Negan. I know, right? Yo. I was having discussions with people who are in the industry. And I told someone, I was like, yo, I had a little bird that told me, and I don't have another source to verify it, but a little bird told me that it is budget for the choreography. And if we're willing, or someone's willing, or if they're willing to prove it's not, and they just, yada yada, I'm all for. But that's just what I heard. I heard they don't have the money to, or they don't want to put in the money to do the choreography, or maybe it's even more to it. Like they didn't have the actors to come in to do the choreography. You got, 3 top guys. I don't know. We'll see. Immunity shouldn't be in The Walking Dead. I agree. I rolled my eyes when it started raining with the walker guts. I was like, oh, this again, has happened 100 times. Then it didn't even matter and the zombies didn't even care. Yo, that's funny. I saw the rain too, and I just didn't even think walker guts on my end. I was like, why is it raining here and then the rain doesn't matter later? Would only accept Judith as immune, but only if they did nothing with it, like have her bit and no turn. I won't accept any immunity. I'll be honest with you. Why didn't we get Negan vs. Beta? I just told you, they didn't have the budget. I literally been waiting for years to see that ever since it happened in the comics. Such a fucking joke. And to be clear here too, it's not the simplest thing in the world to get some of these fight scenes. To get a really good fight scene that actually looks good with how with the blocking and the zombies in the background, and something that actually has some weight and some oomph to it, especially in that environment, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get a fight choreographer to come in, and he's going to choreograph with 2 random people, maybe people he works with within his little mini company, right? He's going to come in, he's going to get 2 guys, they're going to do a little dance, and then once they get it down, they're going to bring in the other 3, Negan, Daryl, and Beta. They'll bring in the actors who actually play those roles, and they'll go over it sometimes, 3 to 5 days, let's say on a TV show specifically. Sometimes it's longer, like for Neo and the Matrix and shit like that. They had choreography fight camps and shit. Sometimes that took weeks, if I remember right, from the behind the scenes and interviews and shit like that. But when you go back into some of the interviews for The Walking Dead, they say that sometimes the choreography takes up to 8 days or whatever it was. Now, at that point, now they got to do it when it comes time to filming. So now it's going to take longer to film. You know what I'm saying? So when you think of a simple fight, it's like, oh man, we could have had a cool little fight scene or something or other. Yeah, we could have, but it would have been money, bottom line. The mask dude, there's nothing to reveal. He's new. Damn, y'all don't even pay attention. I will have to agree with you. Is there people who want the mask guy to be revealed? Because, yeah, he's totally new. So, AP with a $2 dono. World Beyond intro song was fire. That song reminded me of a Walking Dead trailer. I forget which one. I just got here. I'm sure you covered this, but Carol Cliff scene had no weight due to the Daryl. Yep, that's what everyone said. And it's pretty much true. I'd hate to sound pretentious, but BB shits all over The Walking Dead. Writers of BB clearly just put care into the show. The Walking Dead writers are just like last season. Okay, let's wrap it up and get the money. Well, this gets tricky because you have people who own Breaking Bad who are doing the story, right? Do I have that right? It was created by Vince Gilligan. Doesn't he own it through a company that Sony has stake in it or some shit like that? I'll have to go back and refresh my memory. So there's passion there. When The Walking Dead is owned by AMC, you're only going to get the passion when it comes to people who come into the writer's room. You got two types of people. One using it for something on their resume, and the other is genuinely enjoys that genre. Maybe there's another type who's just, I don't know, handed the job and they're, I don't know, friends of friends and family. I'm sure that shit exists plenty. But there's two main types, the resume and then the passionate ones. Sometimes the resume ones could, there's two factors here, could outnumber the passionate ones, or they each individually, I believe, get an episode to write, like the primary writer. And then the showrunner kind of does the glaze, touches it up some. Another thing, some people that could work there as a writer might like zombies and horror, but not the way the core audience does. I've seen that plenty where, The Walking Dead starts and just to give you an example, and it has a certain tone and a vibe, and then you'll get a writer that gets hired and they're like, yeah, this is great and all, but I like more uplifting and fun, and I like there to be like this message in the story. I like zombies, but I want them to like dance and sing and way, you know what I'm saying? So now they're like a zombie fan, but not the type of zombie fan that we are, or the type of tone and genre that it was created with. I'm not saying that happened on The Walking Dead at all. I'm just giving you an example. Sometimes it goes in that direction, and there's just no coming back. Do you think there would be an episode where they talk and walk in the forest? That seems to be a Walking Dead tradition. Absolutely. They do that all the time. Keep in mind, you take the crew out to the woods and you film. You don't really got to dress the set, Does choreography really cost that much more? I wasn't expecting something insane, just anything. Yes, look up fight choreography in Hollywood. There's some stuff you can get away with that isn't too much. But you have to understand, once you start the fight, let's say more than what we had, where Negan gets knocked down by Beta. Once you start that, repeat everything I just said. You're going to have to bring in a choreograph creator. I forget what the real name is. They're going to create it with their crew. They're going to, a few days later, you're paying them for that too. They're going to bring in the principal, the cast. They're going to go over with the cast a few days, make sure they get it, they got it. And on top of that, you got to figure out where the director wants the camera. So now you're working with the director, and that's taking days. So it's probably a combination of budget and days. Because if they are going over the choreography, they might have so much stuff going on with where are they going to do the CGI with the huge horde. There's just not enough days and they can't extend it or whatever it is. But yeah, choreography, and again, not all of it, but if you want to get something that has some weight to it, it's going to cost something. It's going to take more time on top of that. Go look at the fight between Beta and Daryl. That was a small fight. Go look. I'm sure there's behind the scenes. That'll give us an idea of what it could be. Do you think the community that Maggie went to is the Commonwealth? No, I think 100% it's not the Commonwealth. As a matter of fact, I know it's not the Commonwealth. One of the 3 ring communities are a completely different one far away. I'm guessing at this point in time it's completely different. Are you streaming next Saturday? I'm not really sure. I'm only going to stream if we're talking a fuck ton of interest. We're going to be wrapping this up though, because I got to get up in a few hours and I'm already fighting a headache for 2 days now. Holy shit, didn't realize it was long. A zombie movie coming out on Netflix next year. It's called Army of the Dead. Are you going to review it once it comes out? I'll check it out, sure. How could Carol get the walkers to follow her with the guts on, then move and still get them to go over the cliff? What made them go over the cliff? Did all the walkers go over the cliff? It was dumb. I love how you point out XL. Do you realize you do this shit? There's stuff that I've criticized, but you point it out like I'm supposed to justify it or I'm supposed to explain it away. No, it's fucking stupid, bro. Like, I'm not going to justify something that was fucking dumb. I like the idea of leading them over the cliff. Sure, in concept, in theory. And yes, it's fine because they're on pilot. So in reality, they should have been bunched like far closer together. So the walkers are on autopilot. They don't know, oh, there's a cliff there. No, they're fucking zombies. They're just going to keep going. That's what that's what creates a herd and what creates the whispers, the ability to, turn the hordes and all that, because they can control and zombies are stupid and they just go. Now, where I will criticize it is when they show the zombies going over the cliff, we see Carol and Lydia stand up and there's nothing there. It's fucking dumb. They should have stood up and there should have been like 10 walkers scattered to show and represent the majority of the herd went over the cliff, but we have a few stragglers. You know what I mean? He could get Carol to walk falls with guts on. Okay, blah, blah. That wasn't even English. So the group only has Hilltop. Alexandria was destroyed, so the Commonwealth will get the rest of the group from the Hilltop. Is that right? No. Alexandria wasn't destroyed. That's true. The limited time they have making episodes probably made it tough to do. I would imagine that played a big role in it. So the governor gets stabbed in the eye with glass and cries like a baby back dick, but Beta gets stabbed in both eyes and hugs a herd of walkers and laughs it off. I call bullshit. Well, here's where we get into the problematic area. It looks like Daryl stabbed him, but like went down his chin, which the size of those knives probably should have tore open his face, to be honest. But I guess they wanted it to be like where it went down, shattering his face bones somehow, and not like, you know what I mean? Not messing up his face much without damaging the brain. I guess that's the way they wanted it. So, Beta's so out of it, he's just, that's what they were going for. Is it clean and the best in the world? No, but I fucking liked it, How do you... Well, let me reword that. Could have there been a far better way to do that without doing something that seemed so... I would have taken that option. But having what we got in the visuals and the symbolism there, I dig it. Do you think we'll ever get Heath again? Only in the Rick movies. If he decides to join. Cassie said, wait, Casey, where you at? Nope. How the hell does Enid, Jesus, Tara die and Maggie in he stupid cowboy cap doesn't even cry? That's what sucked, if anything. Well, they didn't show her enough, in all fairness. She just saw the letter and then they zipped on by. I'm sure she had an emotional reaction to it off camera. It makes sense that they didn't do the Negan versus Beta thing, because if Negan broke the bat over Beta's back, why would he be upset in the show about it, since it was the new bat? Well, yeah, but he doesn't have to be upset, though. Now you're taking two different things and keeping them attached when they could be separate. We can have the Beta, we can fight in Negan with the fake Lucille, and the fake Lucille can get snapped over Beta's back. That doesn't mean we need to keep going with the comic storyline and have a Negan barrier and be sad. We don't need to go that route. He snaps the bat and he's like, fuck, and then they get on with the rest of the fight. See, that's taking something from the comic and then morphing it to fit the consistency within the show that they already got going on. All right. What character from season 1 to 3 would you have like to have seen in the season? Shane, up until now, would it be mad? I'm not really big on hypotheticals, to be honest. Whoever we lost, we lost. The only one I'll give you is Abraham. I think he shouldn't have died in the lineup, and he should have died in All Out War. That was real cheap. It was a cheap, dumb gimmick to fake us out, you know? This was resolved way too easily. The Whisperers broke the radio car, so Daryl was like, oh, let's just kill them all. If it was that easy, why didn't they just do that before? True shit. Bro, it's lazy writing. True shit. Rip Beatrice. Yeah, no one gives a fuck about Beatrice. She just did. Group sent walkers into the lake on fire when they first arrived in Alexandria. Yeah, they did that too. I personally not looking forward to Commonwealth's story arc. It's my least liked as well. I hope they change some things. All right, get your last comments in because we got to wrap this up now. I wonder if insurance has anything to do with fight scene budget stuff. I mean, a stuntman died doing the show. Insurance is involved with the stunt stuff, obviously, but it's not going to continue on from that. That was an incident, and I'm sure they are still doing a lawsuit with that because I think they were partially involved. But again, falling off a 2-story balcony and then doing a fist fight choreography fight scene is 2 totally different things. There's no reason for them not to do that you know what I mean? It's strictly budget and time. I don't think it has anything to do with the stuntman and what happened a few years ago. If Daryl and Carol go to New Mexico, how do you think the main show will end? Like we get 25-year time skip from the comic. I was thinking that too about the time skip. They're probably going to do a time skip. I just don't think they need to. I think they should keep the Commonwealth as the main base and we follow Daryl and Carol out to explore. What do you think will happen in Ezekiel next season? Do you think he's going to survive? Well, I think Ezekiel is there at the Commonwealth to get medical treatment done. What do you think they're going to go with Negan next season? Do you think it'll be on his own like in the comics? I'm curious how Maggie feels. I don't know. There's a lot of conflict for them to work with between Maggie and Negan, and I think that conflict is interesting, and that's probably the winning direction to go for part of the story. So I would keep that in a big chunk of the story. Peace, I'm out. This is going in circles now. Yeah, I agree with you. We're about to wrap it up as well. Do not forget Doomsday Kingdom on Indiegogo. Oh, wait, what happened? Well, yeah, we got the gold celebration bookmarks in. We are finalizing this week the print files and sending them in. And then when I get them, we'll be shipping them out to you guys. I'm going to make videos when I'm doing a number of processes this week or next week when the print copies come in as well. We're going to do an unboxing. I'll record it all. So you guys will see the process coming. So don't worry. You'll get updates. But if you were on the fence, get over to Indiegogo and search Doomsday Kingdom. Links are down below if you just want to hit a link, though. What was the highlight of this episode? To be honest, my highlight was the visual of Alpha's mask going over the cliff. I love that shit. It would have been cool to see Beta on his knees and Negan comes out of nowhere and says, "This is Lucille and she is awesome." I'm going to have to say no. Just because of the tone and what they're going for. I think they could have done something, but maybe not quite that, you know? There's definitely something they could have done. But it would have been nice seeing Beta get Lucille'd. Beta death was great, but I can't help but feel let down. It was so quick. Not last big fight with Daryl and Negan. That really bummed me out. Yeah, same. Most people. What was the highlight? It's kind of sucks now. I'm hyped about the last season. I'm just glad it's ending before it gets worse. Yeah. Have you forgave the Fear the Walking Dead writers? No, I really don't care, to be honest. Who do you think will take Dwight and Rick's comic death? I don't think we need it. I really hope they don't do it. We don't need it. Yeah, I think they're missing an opportunity with Aaron, too. Do you think that the new spin-off shows and the upcoming movies are getting too much? I feel as though we're going to set up something about to die. I don't think it's too much because, listen, they own this. This is their moneymaker. So it only makes sense for them to keep it going to some degree, even if it's only a movie a year. It doesn't make sense for them to just say, okay, The Walking Dead's done. They don't have anything waiting in the wings that's going to make them this much money. And it wouldn't make sense because they would just close it down for a few years and start it back up again anyway, because the fan base will always want more. The correct amount to give them is the thing that AMC needs to really work on. The actors are valuable and probably want to minimize injury risk because it would interfere with their work. Maybe that's a reason for insurance costs. Guy dying isn't the cause, just a X. Yeah, I think we're getting more into stuff that isn't directly tied into, tied into them. We can run circles all day, but I'm telling you, it's budget and time limitations. I would be floored. I'd eat grass if they came out and said there's other factors, and that's why we didn't do it. There's probably something going on with injury and yada, yada, yada. But, and as cold as it sounds, because I know that dude died from an accident, but it's not that rare. It's not like that's so rare that now it's going to be hard for them to, that's not even close to being rare. I think there's like a serious accident that happens on every set, Batwoman had a poor girl, like crippled because a crane fell on her, crushed her spine or something. Resident Evil had a girl get her arm ripped off. You know what I'm saying? It happens, and it's just not that crushing for them not to have fight scenes, Ronnie, do you think at this point that Commonwealth would be the CRM? No, we already know what the CRM is. It's the Civic Republic, whatever the fuck it is. It's not the Commonwealth. Hope you all have a world beyond sleep tonight. Wow. How would they have the budget to shoot the damn scene at Fear the Walking Dead, but no budget to shoot a well-choreographed fight scene on The Walking Dead? Shake my head. I don't know, bro. We keep in mind, the damn scene versus a fight scene is not a fair comparison, because The Walking Dead had the horde scenes, the other stuff that was in the finale. All that is involved in it, as opposed to Fear the Walking Dead, where they balanced the budget in order to put budget in the end for that damn explosion and the CGI effects. That's a more fair comparison, because you're actually comparing the holes with what they did, not, here's something that costs a lot of money, let's compare it to something that doesn't exist. That's, you know what I mean? I see what point you were going for, though. Do you think Rick movies will have a bigger budget than the show? I don't know. I think they're going to have a solid budget, but I don't know. I have my doubts, man. I have my doubts. Do I think Negan will survive the last season? Yes. Do you love the aggressive and hard-ass attitude that Rick had in season 5 and 6? That was my favorite. Yeah, I do. I like the gradual increase, though, from Rick from 3 to 4. It was great. I'm saying insurance costs are part of the budget issues. Oh, yeah. In that respect, insurance costs are definitely a part of the budget issues. But again, I'm reverting to the choreography and the time are well exceeding that. It's probably like a small blip in comparison to everything they're doing. Because I could be wrong, but I don't think it's, okay, we have a fight scene coming, so let's get fight insurance. Oh, we have this. I'm pretty sure they have it like something that covers the whole, and then something for like some of the higher, more risky ones. Obviously to avoid certain premiums. I would have to look into that, though, because I can't remember ever reading up on insurance. Who the fuck wants to read about that, though? But it's probably in the budget somewhere. In my personal opinion, though, I don't think it's a big part of the budget. I don't think that Rick movies are going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's probably going to stand alone, but not a trilogy. Yeah, I think it's one movie for right now. We'll see. Crazy to think that it's been like 2.5 years since Andrew Lincoln played Rick. Can't wait to see him return. Any like really, last questions to go out here or no? Can we get back to the days of hiding under a dumpster? Nope. I feel an announcement. Yeah, the announcement sucked. Oh, I see what you're saying, Meow Cat Bissy. But I'm telling you, I know 100%. It's the budget and the time. It's just that. It's just, yeah, unless the yeah. I mean, there's other stuff there, but someone flat out came out and told me. It's that. It's that. AMC is just being cheap. Fear the Walking Dead better end in a year or two before it gets Fear. They should just get rid of it. Do you think a show can go on for 10 to 12 seasons and still be great all throughout the show? Yes, I do think it's possible. Ronnie, do you think there could have been a Negan spinoff after the show ends? Yes, I think there could be a spinoff of anyone that's really popular. Do we have a musical episode coming? And with that, I'm going to say no. They said they were going to do one, but fuck, I don't want them to do one. That's a terrible idea. Why in the world would you do a musical of The Walking Dead? All right, stay tuned for tomorrow. Sometime later in the day, I'll put up a mini review giving some more concise thoughts. Don't forget to check out Doomsday Kingdom on Indiegogo. Man, I love looking at these all together. Man, they look so cool. I fucking love them. All right. I'll keep you guys up to date when I get print files off and all that coming up. The Masked Man is a new person totally. Yeah, Meowcat Bissy. There's definitely a lot of industry and non-industry stuff that even me who is curious about the industry stuff, I'll forget about certain things, or it'll just, I don't know, I won't even think on that aspect of something. There's definitely a lot more that's involved. I was just trying to chip away at some of the bigger, like more, some of the stuff where it's probably easier to point at as the bigger downfall of something that we didn't get. World Beyond was great. Bro, I'm out. I gotta go. What was that sound? Was that somebody subscribing? I'm gone. World Beyond was great, guys. 10 out of 10. The Masked Man with Maggie as RJ? Yeah. Oh, man. Get me the fuck out of here.